Okay, everyone, as we conclude the second course in the program, let's recap the key learnings. You gained the foundational knowledge to assess and verify energy performance in buildings by exploring different aspects of a building's energy consumption. You also learned why energy consumption is so important in Canada, where buildings use a lot of energy. You began by understanding that energy used in buildings is also affected by several things, from the building basic design and the amount of exposed surface to the insulation and airtightness of the building envelope. These terms we learned in the first course, Sustainable Building Basics, if you remember. We already know that building envelope is the outer shell of a building, walls, roof, foundation. We also know what insulation is. Different materials used in the buildings to slow down heat transfer. The air tightness is prevention of air from leaking in or out. All that we already knew. What we learned in this course is that depends on the climate and weather how to define heating degree days, or HDD. HDD is a measure of how much heating a building needs based on the climate, something especially important for some of you who are just starting your life in Canada. Be careful of your HDD. HDD affects your heating bills. Then you dove to the basics of energy modeling by learning that basics of energy modeling is a digital practice run for a building that allows the design team to identify potential problems and opportunities to save energy before the building is even built or renovated. Also, how important for building is a greenhouse gas intensity, GHGI, or a measure of a building's carbon emissions per square meter. You explored various ways to measure a building's performance, such as energy use intensity, EUI, which is the amount of energy a building consumes per square meter. EUI provides an easy way to understand how much energy the building consumes. You also covered the overview of diagnostic tools to be able to assess building performance, making things easier to understand with the Alternative Compliance Paths, ACP. If you remember, ACPs are different ways to meet energy efficiency standards. Then we went through measurement and verification principles to make sure we meet energy and cost savings by having tools to audit and implement measurement and verification principles. That's a lot of new terminology, but you can always go back to the glossary when you forgot something. Now, you all are ready for the next course in this program. Good luck, and see you at the end of your third course, just in time before the quiz.